Happy Hispanic Heritage Month, everybody. This is the Slider Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about Stuck in the Middle, Season 3, the series finale episode, Stuck in the... Alright, look, bear with me now. My tongue don't roll this way. I don't speak Spanish no more. I took Spanish 1, I dropped out of Spanish 2. Alright, I've said that before in 2 other videos, just bear with me. Quinceañera. That's the best I can do. My tongue don't roll that way. But yes, sadly, this is the series finale of a show that I really enjoyed. This show was Disney's second prominent Hispanic show that they ever created. The first being Wizards of Waverly Place, which was an interracial show of Italian and Mexican. And this was their second show that was supposed to feature a predominantly Mexican family, but it doesn't. Pretty much you got a blend of every type of Spanish speaking person casted in this show. Even the best friend is half Hispanic and stuff like that. However, they did drop the ball twice in casting when they cast one Italian actress and one white actress, and you really couldn't even tell. I seriously, the Italian actress, who I love to death, I've been a fan of hers for over 30 years. I thought she was Hispanic for 30 years until I found out she wasn't. And as for the white girl, well, even though she does look Latino in the show, trust me, you really think she is. She's not. And there's some controversy surrounding her. And so basically she was absent for the whole 3rd season, except for the first episode and the last episode, because she was written off to join another show on Netflix called On My Block, where she played yet again another Hispanic character. However, when she was 16, she said some really messed up stuff on Twitter about the Hispanic culture around political times and stuff. This angered a lot of people, especially the main star of this show that called her behind out on Twitter and everything. And so then other people were clamoring for her to be fired off on the block and everything. Her character was killed off, and in the first season and stuff like that. And so yeah, she has since apologized. Of course, there was no fake celebrity apologies and everything. But seriously, but she's been down the ringer ever since. Her life has just went down the crapper, and she barely does anything now. But it's kind of how are you gonna be a white person playing 2 Hispanic characters and then talk crap about them? You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't so much about them. It was just something she said around political times that angered a lot of people. But how you gonna do something like that? That's so low down. You know what I'm saying? And it was seriously, this is why representation matters and everything, and why Disney needs to stop casting whitewashing characters and stuff. And and one reason why they do it, because I get it sometimes, you're a celebrity, you want to be cast in the show, but you can't, and you have to work, you have to feed yourself, you have to get bills paid, and then you take roles that are not right for you, but you do it anyway. And I can understand that and everything. But the Italian lady said years ago when she did that first TV show I was telling you about, because she has a very ethnic look to her, the casting people told her, and they tell lots of other people this in Hollywood too. They tell people that, because you look so ethnic and everything, you can technically pass for other races. This is why Gal Gadot played Wonder Woman when she's not Italian and other stuff. And you'll be very surprised to see so many people in movies and TV shows that you think are from a different country, but they're really from another, and they just have that look to them that makes them look like they're from that country, but they're really not. It's kind of similar to MCU, how the actress who plays, well actually in the Black Widow movie, there were really no Russian people in that movie and stuff, and they're all just American actors just playing like with fake accents and stuff, and it's just Hollywood is so weird. But let's get on to this episode. This is what's important. So it's the finale. And this is Harley's big day. She finally turns 15. She's finally about to become a woman in Hispanic culture and everything. And so, the quinceañera is like a tradition that's been going on for ages, like centuries and stuff, through many Spanish speaking, cultures and stuff. So it's not just one. It's like Mexican, Puerto Rican, Brazilian, and like all kind of stuff. Colombian and Cuban. And so like the actress who plays Harley, which I am so proud of her. Like I say this every time I talk about her in like a movie or TV show, she is really moving up, being that of a former Disney Channel star. Because when you're in Disney Channel, it's very much like Power Rangers. Hollywood just does not want you. They see you did Disney Channel, they're like, nope, no thank you and everything. And that's because in the older days, a lot of these Disney stars couldn't really act that well. But some of them just couldn't act in general, and others just overacted because that's what the director wanted. But everybody on this show can actually act and everything. But it's sad that they will be labeled as a former Disney star, and that's why Hollywood just does not want them and stuff. And it's quite a shame. But Jenna Ortega, who plays the main character, who is Mexican and Puerto Rican, she is really moving up. She was in Scream 6. She was in some other horror movie. And she's about to be Wednesday Addams in the new Netflix show. And and that's why they race bent the entire Addams family to match her like race. However, they screwed up again because the actress playing her mom, Catherine Zeta-Jones, is white, but everybody else is Hispanic, and that don't make no sense. And this is the millionth time Catherine Zeta-Jones is about to play another Hispanic character, and it just irritates me and stuff. But this was Disney's last Hispanic show until that of Ultraviolet and Black Scorpion, the Hispanic superhero show, which is a predominantly Hispanic cast. For the first real time Disney has truly 100% cast that way. But sadly, I heard a rumor it might have secretly got canceled, even though all the episodes have not aired. Because for whatever reason, people are not watching it. But it's a really good show. I watch it and everything. But anyway, so in this episode, Harley is excited for her big day. And so this show revolves around her character. She breaks the fourth wall. She's an inventor. All this great stuff, right? So it's her big day. And she overslept. Her alarm didn't go off for some reason. And the reason for that is that the mom tells her, we did that on purpose because we just want you to sit down, relax, and we got everything planned for you and stuff. And so she's a little skeptical. She's all like, she knows how her family is. She comes from a huge family. The reason why it's called Stuck in the Middle, she is technically the middle child. She has 3 older siblings and 3 younger siblings and stuff. And Jenna Ortega actually comes from a big family. I think she's the 4th child in a and she has and her parents have like 6 kids all together and stuff. And so like she knows how her family is and how unreliable they can be, so she's worried. And plus she likes to do everything herself and kind of micromanage and stuff. But her family lets her know, yo, look, man, we got your back and everything. Now Rachel is not in this season. Like I said, she will show up towards the end. She is the older sister played by the white actress and stuff. And so the rest of the family, they're trying to do their best to like help her out and everything. Her brother's all like, me and dad gonna pick up your dress because it's the most important job, but really it's the easiest job. And they kept telling them that. They're like, that's the only real reason why you're doing it and stuff. And so like, he's like, nah, man, I'm your best friend in this house and everything. And I would never do that to you. He really is her best friend. Like in this show, when you watch, you will see out of all her siblings, her brother is the only one who really has her back and stuff until the rest of the family comes in and help. And so like, So she's kind of just like, like irritated because she wants to do things on her own and stuff, but they won't let her. And like, so she goes to like her best friend. And so like her best friend doesn't want to hang out because she's like, look, I got something special planned for you and everything. And so like, whatchamacallem. And she can't do that if Harley's like around and everything. So we don't really know what's really going on with the best friend, but we see her constantly when Harley's doing stuff with the younger sibling. She's constantly taking Harley's picture. So it's like, what does she have like planned and stuff? So Harley, mom, and Georgie, they go through like the basement and they find some old Harley stuff. And the mom is just reminiscing about how her daughter used to be so young and she about to be turning into a woman. And the reason why I keep saying she's about to go into womanhood at 15 years old is because traditionally back in the olden days and stuff, this was really when a woman went into maturity and everything. Some were allowed to, like, in certain cultures, because every culture is different. So in some, they were allowed to marry, they was allowed to drink. They had to learn, back of course back in those days, men ruled the world and women had to stay in the kitchen. They learned how to cook, how to sew, how to, like, do all this other stuff. And so it was really their time of like maturity and everything. That happens on their 15th birthday, because that's the Spanish, because oh God, I'm about to butcher this word again. My bad. Look, my tongue does not roll that way. I'm black. All right. Spanish 2 was too hard. I got out of it. All right. Quinceañera. The reason why, because this is the part that confuses me. It ends in an E. Is it Quincy or is it Quinsa? See, in Wizard of Waverly Place, the one actress said Quincy, but if it ends in an E, then it's supposed to sound like a, like ah. So isn't it Quinsa and everything? I don't know, but it means 15 and everything. So that's why it's on the 15th birthday and all this other stuff. It's a huge celebration. You get to wear like a lovely gown. You get to like, it's more like a dress than a gown, I'll say. Gown's more tight fitting, I think. Well, then her outfit is kind of tight fitting at the end. But anyways, it's like a lovely dress gown type thing. You get to celebrate with your friends and your family. You get to dance with your family. It's like a huge mega birthday and everything, like a bar mitzvah and stuff. And so she's reminiscing about back in the old stuff, things Harley used to like write down and make. Harley drew like this sad face of her when she found out Pluto was no longer a planet. I think we were all sad when we found that out. But then she found the first list Harley made. She's like, see, even when he was young, he was still making lists. And Harley had a to-do list. But there are 3 things that haven't been like crossed out. And so she realizes, how am I going to like do all this stuff? So many things are a little impossible, like dancing on the clouds, but she's going to find a way. And so she decides, you know what? I'm going to get my younger siblings to help me out. Like, check everything off my list and everything. So that's what she goes and do when she like, is hanging out with the younger ones. They make like a giant pancake that I wanted to eat so bad. I love pancakes. What was that? Turn their room into a ball pit. That looked so much fun when they jump backwards. The little girl who plays Daphne, she looked scared almost and stuff when she did it. Then she wanted to make a slip and slide out of purple gelatin, but that turns out to be a huge mistake. It bleaches her skin, or it dyes her skin purple, and she can't get it off and everything. So now she thinks she ruined her own party. Well, she wasn't the only person who ruined it. Her family ruined it. See, the brother and the father, they was going to get the dress, but then they saw a donut shop. And so they went there and got tons of donuts. But then when they went to get the dress, the person who's supposed to help them was on like lunch break or whatever, or went home. So they had to try to find the dress themselves and everything. And they had a hard time. And they just could not do it. I think they picked out the wrong dress of all things. Then comes the mom and Georgie. See, Harley's all into science and she wanted a diorama that reflects science. her initials, HD15, tons of diagram replica and stuff like that, and balloons, and they just couldn't do it. Georgie couldn't blow up the balloons. They could not decorate the way that she wanted it to, and they're like, crap, dude, we ruined everything. And so while she's all sad and depressed, like Georgie's trying to remind her, hey, remember when my 15th birthday party was kind of like a disaster and everything? I've already talked about that episode. Well, watch that one. And so then all of a sudden, she returns. Rachel returns and everything to save the day. Yay, the white savior has to save the day. So like, so, oh God. So anyway, she really does save the day. She gets the dress that Harley wants and everything. She does helps with the decorations. Everything that the family couldn't do, and she tried her best to get the purple stuff off like Harley, but Harley was able to get the purple stuff off herself. And so, but where Rachel's been this whole time, I think they wrote her off to go to Paris to learn fashion or something like that. So anyway, so it's time for her big quinceañera and everything. And she's happy, she's excited, but there's a problem. She wanted to make a grand entrance, which would be reminiscent to her dancing on, floating on clouds, or whatever it is, walking on clouds that she said she wanted to do, or something like that. But she forgot her ribbons. They put it on top of the car and then blew off once they started driving. So she's sad and she's depressed. But then something cheers her up. I don't know if it cheers her up before or after. But anyway, she talks to her best friend. We find out what her big surprise is. She was taking pictures to get them blown up on cardboard and made like a cardboard cutout of Harley. And there's at least 4 different faces. So whatever mood Harley's in, she'll get to replace the face, just swap them in and out. And so Harley loves it and everything, cause that's like her best friend and stuff. But then the biggest surprise comes. Aiden returns. Aiden is a dude she started crushing on in season 3. I think at first they couldn't get along, but then she just started crushing on him hard and stuff. His family moved away to do some type of business deal, but his dad was able to fly him back and all this other stuff. So I actually forgot that he was even in the show. It's been a good while since I watched this show, since it got canceled. And I was very bummed when it got canceled and stuff, because it was a really good show. I mean, if all those other, the one problem that might have been the downfall of the show, it wasn't your traditional Disney Channel show. It was different, it had a completely different cast that most viewers are not used to, being that of a Hispanic cast, but mostly because they tried to go back to the old days of Disney during the Zoog era, when shows revolved around family and were more serious and stuff, and wasn't so much all that wacky. Yeah, they had some wacky stuff here and there, but not as much as it is now. So the Lizzie McGuire's, the Jersey, So Weird, Even Steven, stuff like that, the Zoog Disney era. With now all these people who watch Disney for the past 10 years have been brainwashed by the Disney Channel era of wackiness and craziness and zaniness and everything. And the show just really wasn't that. It had its moments of that, but not in every scene, So I think that's another reason why Ultraviolet and Black Scorpion is not doing so great, because it's more that traditional old Disney style, and people just aren't used to that and stuff. And so I do plan on talking about this show in the future. I need to rewatch every episode, and I'm about to get rid of my Disney Plus again. And I'll probably get it at the end of the year or next year in the beginning or something. I want to rewatch everything and get more familiar, because I've only watched this show once in its entirety. And it was actually the mom is the reason why I started watching this show, because I never knew it existed. Because I was the mom used to be a Power Ranger, and so I've been a fan of hers, and so she talked about this new show she's on, and so I'm okay, what is this? I've never heard of it, and then I checked it out because of that, and I just fell in love with this show and everything. And so Harley then gets to like a creative idea. She looks at like the curtains and she's all like, you know what? I can get my ribbons after all. And then she makes her grand entrance. I forget what they call this, but you know how them people on Circus Soleil, they have like those ribbons and they're up in the air and they're dancing and flipping around. She's doing that. That's her grand entrance she wanted to have for her special day. And it was amazing. Now, of course, it was a stunt double, but you know, she got to do the up close stuff where we're just like hanging there and stuff. But it was still like amazing. So she got to walk on the clouds, like after all, you know what I'm saying? And then so afterwards, she like dances with her family and she's having just like a great time. 'Cause that's part of the tradition of this special day and everything. Then the episode ends with them all eating like donuts and her creating like this donut service tray type thing that just rotates around, going up and down and stuff, so that the family can get like a different type of donut. And then it just like ends like that. And you know, at least they was able to have their final episode and their final closure to the show, and a really profound episode where everybody got something to do, you know. And because that's the thing about other TV shows and other networks, when they get canceled, they just get canceled. But at least Disney Channel allows people to have their like final true episode and ends, you know? Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.